Alright, what is up, everybody? We are back with another edition of Everyday Hoops. Hope you guys are having a good one. Today, we're doing ranking every center in the NBA. We've done this with every other position in the league so far. If you missed any of them, you can go back and watch those on the channel. But today, we're going centers. We're wrapping up the ranking every until we get into the top 10s, which I'm very, very excited for. But we got to finish this one first. So that's what we're doing here in today's video. Thank you guys for the views on the videos and the shorts recently. I really appreciate it. If you do like the content around here, consider subscribing, like, turn notifications, do all the stuff like that. I'd really appreciate it. It really helps out a lot. Join the membership. If you want to learn more about the membership, there's a video on my channel explaining all of it. You can go back and watch that. Link to my Twitters and all that stuff down in the description below. And yeah, don't waste any more of your time. Let's get right into it. All right, so here we go. We have the tier list. We have all the centers that are currently on an NBA roster right here. And yeah, if you missed any of the last videos, we'll quickly explain the tiers and stuff for you. So we have Superstar, All-Star, Starter, Backup, Bench, G League. And then here's all the players. And also explaining it, I did it before every other ranking video. We'll do this here today. This is not based on what their actual current role is. So some of these guys might actually be backup big men, but I'm putting them in the starter category because that's how they play like. Some guys might be starters, but I put them in the backup category, even though they are technically a starter. They play like a backup, you know? So this is more about how they play like more than what their actual role is this season. All right, good. So let's get it started. Starting with Steven Adams. We haven't seen Steven Adams in a little while. You know, he didn't play last year due to knee injury. He's in Houston now. Um, I'm still gonna put him in the starter category, just because I don't believe that his injury will really affect him a whole lot. He's not a guy that really played based on athleticism at all. Anyway, he's more of a rebounder, block shots. You know, your typical what you want your starting center to be if you don't have a star center. Steven Adams is one of those dirty work guys, and so I'm still gonna put him in all-star tier. I mean starter tier. I'm sorry. Bam Adebayo is gonna go in all-star tier. He's just absolutely amazing defensively. One of the best defending players in general, not even just bigs. Defensively in general, he's one of the best in the league. And yeah, we'll see what the three-point shot looks like this year. He shot a lot in the Olympics and looked decent shooting him, so maybe he's a three-point shooter. But yeah, very excited for Bam this season. Just got the keys to Miami, so shout out to him for that. But yeah, Bam is awesome, man. Jared Allen. Jared Allen. Hmm. Jared Allen's like literally, if there was a role in between All Star and starter, Jared Allen is that role because he's one of the better starting centers in the league that aren't All Stars, but also plays kind of similar to like how a lot of All Star guys play. I'm gonna put him in starter for now. Again, we can always go back and change things around if I want to. But we'll throw Jared Allen in starter for now, but he's right on the cusp. Depending on how this list goes, he might jump up to All Star tier. But Jared Allen is one of the better starting bigs in the league. Again, he just does his thing. He rebounds the ball. He blocks shots at a great level. He's become a really good, comfortable scorer as well. So yeah, he's gonna go there. DeAndre Ayton. He's also gonna go in starter tier. For now, he hasn't been the most. There's been a lot of desire with DeAndre Ayton. There's been a lot of just like we want more from him. But so far throughout his career, it just looks like this is who DeAndre Ayton is. You know, he's had some All Star moments a couple years ago, but he just isn't that. He's not an All Star. He's not a guy. He's just a decent starting center, which he still is. He still is a. If you have him as a starting center, that's pretty good. You know, you're doing pretty solid. Is he the best? No, but he's not bad at all. He's still a starting center in this league. It's just he hasn't played like how we want him. We think he can reach another level that he just doesn't want to reach, I guess. So yeah, Marvin Bagley gonna go bench tier. You know, Mo Bamba also gonna go in bench tier. Just guys that were high picks that just didn't really pan out that way. Charles Bassey gonna be G League. Goga Badatse, I'm gonna put him in bench tier. I'm gonna put Goga in bench, but he did have a pretty nice season last year with Orlando and got a pretty nice contract from them. So good for him. Adam Bona gonna go G League, but I am a big fan of the Sixers drafting him as an energy, big. Thomas Bryant. Thomas Bryant, I'm gonna put him in. He's in between like bench and back because when he does play, he gets some. He does solid. It's just he doesn't really play a whole lot, you know. Thomas Bryant is gonna go in the. I'll put him in bench tier. Again, I can move him up to backup if I need him to. But right now, he's in Miami. He didn't really get a whole lot of minutes last year in Miami. That's because Bam is amazing. They just brought in Killer Ware, so I don't know where their minutes are coming from. But when he does play, he does have some solid moments. Clint Capella, also going to go and start a tier again. When you think of starting centers that aren't star players, you think of Clint Capella. He's going to catch lobs. He's going to block shots. That's all he really needs to do. You know, Brandon Carlson, G League, Wendell Carter. I'll put Wendell Carter. He's going to go back up tier. He had some injuries last year that kind of messed him up a little bit. But I think he's still very solid. He's a guy that can rebound the ball. Even though he is a smaller center, he does pretty well for himself in the interior, and he can stretch the floor a little bit. Would you let him shoot threes? Yeah, but he can hit them once in a while. Colin Castleton from G League. Ulrich Shamshay, I forgot how you pronounce his name. He's going to go G League for now, but he does have a lot of tools. And the Raptors did a good job drafting him, especially where they did. Nick Claxton, also going to go in starter tier. He's become a really, really good starting big. How long is he staying in Brooklyn? I don't know. But, I mean, he just got paid, I think, $100 million, actually. So he might stay around for a little while. But his shot blocking ability, the way he's become a really good defender, and how comfortable he is scoring inside now. Donovan McClain, going to go back up tier for now. But, he's in the battle with DeAndre in Portland. And I think I think he is, and I think a lot of fans hope that he becomes a starting center at some point for Portland, which I think he will. Zach Collins going to go back up tier. He's become a really solid backup big with San Antonio. And finally, Dante going to go G League. Anthony Davis, he's going to be our first superstar tier. I think he's going to be our first superstar tier. AD the last 2 years, I think, has been really, really impressive. He hasn't been as injured as much. He's been amazing defensively. He's been a lot more consistent on the offensive end as well. The Olympic run, I think he was one of the more consistent players on the team. He's been really, really good the last 2 years, man. So you got to give a lot of credit to Anthony Davis. Moussa Diabate, going to G League. Andre Drummond, going to go back up. Love the pickup for him in Philadelphia. Just an amazing move. We know about Joel Embiid's history, injuries, and now bringing in Andre Drummond, who has been one of the better backup bigs in the last couple of years. Last year, he had a really, really good season in Chicago. So, yeah, a rebounding king right there. Jalen Duren. Ooh, do I want to? I really like Jalen Duren. I'm a big fan of Jalen Duren. I think he's going to be a really, really good center for a long time in the league. I'm going to put him in starter tier. I think he's the second best player on the Detroit Pistons. He is just a force in the interior, rebounds the ball really well, inside can score, defensively, like he's going to be a really good center for a very long time. He might not be a star player or whatever, but he's going to have a very long career in the NBA. Zach Edey. I'll put Zach Edey in backup tier for now. He is, I think, the favorite to win Rookie of the Year, which is interesting. He's in Memphis, where he's got a pretty nice role, where he's just like, he's behind Jaren. Sometimes he can start, but he also is on a team that already has a lot of things already concrete and set, like Jaren, Ja, Desmond Bane. So he doesn't really have a big, workload. All he has to do is come in and just play a couple minutes, block some shots, dunk some balls, and there you go. That's all you got to do. Jesse Edwards, G League. Joel Embiid, obviously going to go in superstar tier. Interested to see how he comes out this season. After winning MVP 2 years ago, last year he was on track to an MVP, and then, of course, the injuries happened. He came back early, all that stuff. So, and then there's a lot of stuff on his name right now, so he's got to come out and really prove himself, Drew Eubanks, going to put him in backup tier. He's actually become a very solid backup center. He's in Utah now. He's actually become a really solid backup big, Bruno Fernando, go bench here. Enrique Freeman, G League. Dale Gafford, I'll put him in starter tier. He had a really good season last year in Dallas. I think Dale Gafford has been one of the better centers in the last couple of years. He just was on bad teams, so no one really noticed who he was in Chicago and Washington. But now he's in Dallas. Now he got a good stage. Went to the finals. Like, people know Dale Gafford is like that, man. He can catch lobs. He can block shots. Even though he's a smaller center, he can do a lot of good things. Luka Garza, gonna go bench tier. Taj Gibson, also gonna go on bench tier just because of his age. He's in Charlotte, where hopefully he could. Honestly, right now, all he is a voice in the locker room that the Hornets need. That's really what his role is right now. Rudy, gonna go all-star tier. Say what you want, he's still one of the better defenders in the league. He's still an all-star type caliber talent. PJ Hall, gonna go G League. Isaiah Hartenstein, gonna go starter tier. He had an amazing season last year for the Knicks, especially in the playoff run, and now he got what, 70-something million dollars, $80 million. How much did he? I don't remember exactly how much he got, but he got a lot of money from OKC. He probably won't be a starter, but he'll probably close some games, and he's gonna fit right in. OKC needed size, and they brought him in, which is perfect. Jackson Hayes gonna go bench tier. Deron Holmes gonna put him in G League for now, just because he is not gonna be able to play his rookie year, which is really tough. Because I think Deron Holmes is really solid. I think he can do some good things in the Nuggets system, but unfortunately torn his ACL. Rashawn Holmes gonna go bench. Chet Holmgren gonna go starter tier. Had an amazing rookie season last season, and he's just only gonna get better. He's gonna be an all-star tier. Probably by the end of the season, he'll probably be all-star tier. Al Horford gonna go starter tier. He's 38 years old, and he still does his thing. NBA champion now. Shout out to Al Horford. Jay Huff gonna go G League. Ariel Hukporti G League. Oso Gadaro, put him in G League, but I do like to pick up from Oso Gadaro from the Suns though. Isaiah Jackson, gonna put him in backup tier, really solid energy big. Jaren Jackson, I'll put him in all-star tier. Jaren's an all-star tier. He had a really good season last year with Memphis, even though it doesn't matter a whole lot. I don't know, because they were injured all year. But Jaren has become really, really good the last couple of years. I wanted to see that kind of scoring punch kind of come, and he has the last 2 years. So very impressed with Jaren, and of course we know he can do defensively, and he can stretch the floor. Trace Jackson Davis, gonna go back up tier. He had a really good rookie season. I think he probably will be. I don't know if he's gonna be a starting center. They might start small ball, but he's gonna get a lot of playing time next season. Trey Jameson, gonna go bench tier. He had a really solid season. Jokic, superstar tier, arguably the best player in the world. Can't really, say much more. Isaac Jones, G League. DeAndre Jordan, gonna go bench tier. Again, at this point, he's just a voice in the locker room right now, and he's a pretty nice voice because he's been in Denver for so long. Walker Kessler, gonna put him in backup tier. He had an amazing rookie year. Last year was not as good. There's been a lot of talks about him potentially getting traded, which is very interesting to me. But he's still a really good shot blocking center. Does center things that he needs to do. Maxi Kleber, gonna go backup tier. Really good defensive stretch. He played center last year, but usually he's a power forward. Luke Cornett, gonna go bench tier. Probably get a lot more opportunity the next season. Now with Porzingis, probably gonna miss the first couple months. Jack Landale, gonna put him in backup tier. He's become a really solid backup center. With Houston, and he had a really good Olympic run. Alex Len, gonna go bench tier. I guess he's a center that exists in the league. Derek Lively. I didn't want to put Derek Lively in starter tier because he has been really, really good. I'm putting him in starter tier. He had an amazing rookie season last year on a team that went all the way to the finals, had some really, really good moments, and I'm expecting him maybe to take over the starting spot for the Dallas Mavericks at some point. Kevon Looney, going to go back up tier, lost his kind of spot with the Warriors, with Trace Jackson Davis coming out and with them just needing more spacing, I guess, and stuff. But Kevon Looney still, if he comes in and plays, he's going to do Kevon Looney things. Brook Lopez, going to go starter tier, getting a lot older, but still can stretch the floor and block shots. Sandro Mamukelashvili, bench. G League, Carlo. Yves Missi, going to go bench tier, but he's probably going to get a lot of opportunity because the Pelicans don't have any big men. So Yves Missi might maybe be a starter at some point. Jonathan Mogbo, going to go G League. Larry Nance Jr., going to go bench tier. Yusuf Nurkic, going to go back up. Decent center with the Suns, just isn't on the level of a lot of the guys on the starter tier. Onyeka Okongwu, also going to go back up. I think Onyeka Okongwu is really good. Defensively, he's really solid, even though he is an undersized center. Offensively, he can pass the ball well. He can hit the mid-range shot. He's been stretching the floor a little bit while working on his three-point shot. I just think, with Clint Capella there, it's just really, really tough. Clint Capella is just such a solid center that's it's tough to get him in that lineup. But maybe this year, who knows? Maybe at some point, Onyeka becomes a starter. Kenny Olynyk, going to go back up. Really, really good backup big. G League. Mason Plumlee, also going to go back up tier. These are just really solid centers. He's in Phoenix now, which I really like that pickup for Phoenix and Mason Plumlee. Jakob Poeltl, he's going to go starter tier. He's a really good big man as well. Efficiently scores in the paint. Can pass the ball well. can defend, just does everything really solid. Jakob Poeltl, you know. Kristaps Porzingis gonna go All Star tier. NBA champion now. Had a really really good season last year with Boston when he did. He got injured in the playoffs, but it didn't really matter. And now he's gonna miss the first couple months of the season. Injuries that just unfortunately killed him, but he has still been really really good the last couple years. Dwight Powell gonna go bench tier, just solid chemistry and veteran guy. Neemias Queta gonna go back bench. He might get some opportunity, and now I'm gonna go G League, but he could get some opportunity next year with Porzingis missing the first couple months. Drop Reith gonna go bench tier. He's become a really solid NBA player after being a no name. Paul Reed gonna go back up tier again. Was a no name a couple years ago. Now he's really solid. Now he's in Detroit, where he probably will be the backup center. Shout out to Paul, B-ball Paul. Naz Reid gonna go starter tier. Like I said at the beginning of the video, now all these are just based on purely what their roles are. Naz Reid won Sixth Man of the Year. He's arguably the best backup center in the league, one of the best bench players in the league. He's just really good. I've been a fan of Naz Reid ever since he got to the NBA. He's just so skilled, such a skilled big. He's only 6'8", but he makes up for it because he can shoot the three ball. He can handle the ball like a forward. He can move really well. He can get to the rim and score. He can defend pretty solid despite him being undersized. Like, he just does everything really really good. Nick Richards gonna go back up tier. Nick Richards I think is really good as a backup big. He can rebound the ball and block shots well. It's just he plays in Charlotte, so no one really knows who he is or cares about who he is. But Nick Richards I think is really solid. Mitchell Robinson gonna go back up tier. Injuries have really hurt him, but now he's probably gonna be the starting center again in New York. With the lack of depth in that position. So hopefully Mitchell Robinson can get back to doing what he's doing. Orlando Robinson gonna go bench tier. Domantas Sabonis also gonna go All Star tier. He dang near might be on the Superstar tier. Cause I'm taking Domantas over all the guys in the All Star tier. I'm moving Sabonis up to Superstar. Sabonis had a really really good season last year. Now, did I think he deserved MVP votes or anything like that? No. But Sabonis had a really good season last year. I think he led the league in triple doubles. I think he had double records. Like, Domantas Sabonis is really really freaking good, man. He's really good. If you don't know, go watch Sabonis. Go look at Sabonis, man. He's really really freaking good. Dario Saric gonna go bench tier. Alperen Sengun. I'll put him in starter tier for now. He could potentially by the end of the year be an all-star tier. But Sengun had a really good season last year. Unfortunately, ended early due to injuries. But Sengun was really good. He could pass the ball really well for a big. He's become a lot more comfortable scoring the ball in terms of in the paint, in the mid-range. Defensively, he's not bad. But so Sengun is really good. He should be a pillar for the Rockets for the future. But then again, I don't know, because there's been a lot of talk about potentially trading him, or he hasn't gotten a contract extension, so I don't really know. Day'Ron Sharpe gonna go bench here, but he's probably gonna get a lot more opportunity with Brooklyn. Gonna be bad. Jericho Sims gonna go bench here, but again, he probably will get some more opportunity next year due to the Knicks not having any big men. Jalen Smith gonna go bench here, but again, I do think he's gonna get a lot of opportunity with Chicago. Dale Tice gonna go back up here. He might be the starting center for the New Orleans Pelicans this year. Tristan Thompson gonna go bench here, just a voice for the Cavaliers. Oscar Tshiebwe gonna go G League, rebounding machine though. Miles Turner gonna go in starter tier. Miles Turner, he's on the same tier as like Jared Allen, where I think he's like right in between the All-Star and starter tier. Like, some nights he could be All-Star, some nights he could be like, he can go back and forth. Like, he had an amazing playoff run. He's just been one of the more consistently good centers in the league as well, stretching the floor, blocking shots. Miles Turner is just really really good. Jonas Valanciunas gonna go starter tier. He probably will have a really juiced big season with Washington because he's like their second best player. So the Wizards want to build up. They signed him on a cheap contract because they wanted to build up his value and trade him. So we'll see how that works. Vucevic also gonna go starter tier. He hasn't been as good since he got to Chicago, but he's still solid, I guess. Tristan Vucevic gonna go bench. Mo Wagner gonna go back up tier. One of the better backup centers in the league. He just got a pretty nice contract. Kel'el Ware, gonna put him in bench tier for now, but I do think he had a really impressive summer league. Personally, for me during the draft, I wasn't a big fan of the draft pick at the time, but now see how he played in summer league and see how he can play with this Miami team. I'm excited to see what he can do. Victor Wembanyama, he's going to an all-star tier. I don't care. He's going to an all-star tier. When I do the top 10 centers list, he's gonna be on the list, no question about it. And I mean, it's Vic. There's not much more to say about him. Jalen Williams gonna go bench tier. Mark Williams, put him back up. I really like Mark Williams. I think Mark Williams is really good and could be a really good center. And it's just injuries have really affected him. But he's an efficient scorer in the paint. He can block shots really, really well. He can rebound the ball really, really well. Like he's got the mold of being a good starting center for a very long time. It's just injuries have really affected him. Robert Williams, he's gonna go back up tier. Similar. Robert Williams has had some really good moments with Boston. It's just injuries have really, really hurt him. Now he's in Portland. He only played a couple games last year. Might be get traded again. It's just injuries have really hurt Robert Williams for his entire career. James Wiseman, go bench tier. Cody Zeller, bench tier, and Zubac. Zubac's gonna go starter tier. Zubac just got paid. Pretty nice extension. Zubac is another just really, really good, consistent big man. Um, yeah, I'll keep this tier list. I like this list. I think this is a really, really solid list. So we got Superstar, we got AD, Joel, Jokic, Sabonis, All-Star, we got Bam, Rudy, Jaren, KP, Victor, Wembanyama, and then you can read the rest of the list. There's a lot of names. You can read the rest of the list and where I got certain people at. Not as much G League as the last couple ones, but most bench guys, mostly bench and starter, or bench and backup, which is what most of the NBA is. Alright, it's going to be it for today. Hope you guys enjoyed. Once again, if you do like the content around here, consider subscribing, like, turn on notifications, do all stuff like that. I'd really appreciate it. It really helps out a lot. And yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow.